If you smell what the run GM general managers are cooking, because my wonderful, beautiful breasts, wonderful, beautiful breast guys, wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation, and I'm the director manager, and this is sort of a ultimate GM mode-ish, because I don't have a third controller, so I can't really control SmackDown. Though I am Jonathan Coachman and Tilo, Taylor, holla holla. I am basically the important ones, because Easy Dog only has one damn championship. Sorry, Tommy Dreamer, but you're not important. You ain't important enough. By the way, I imported Ross, I imported stables, and I edited the available roster. There's like three different copies, like two different copies in like the original version of my created superstar that I want to put in this. And I put in the, most successful looking one. It's like an overall of like I think 42. I basically want to send them through the entire thing of Raw, and then whenever it comes to SummerSlam, send them over. Basically, I want to send them all the way through SmackDown, and whenever it comes to SummerSlam, basically after that, whenever, that happens, their first actual debut on an episode of Raw, be, Unforgiven. Because I know that's a Raw pay-per-view, and it's after, SummerSlam. So, yeah, basically, I'm not going to draft because, ECW is probably going to be a bitch. So, I'm going to use WWE rosters and I'm going to abuse the hell out of trade. So, clean and dirty turns. Now, in this, I did not know that Roddy Piper was clean somehow. Which means that Rick Rude is possible. Wait a second here. Say the bullshit as a big roster. I'm going all the way down, 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 and the flames raise higher. Info. On. Rick Rude. What I do know is, well, for one of the things I want to do, shit. Since, Ric Flair is the dirtiest player in the game, and I want him in a rivalry with Johnny Nitro that also involves Melina, that wouldn't he keep her out of the, Divas Championship scene? Johnny Nitro, even though it's probably very uncharacteristic of him, will indeed have to be turned face. But I also want to do a little bit of a redemption arc for, Mr. Kennedy here, Canada! Canada! Basically, use WWE roster, and I'm gonna abuse the hell out of the whole proposed trade thing. So champions. No, I will not be doing any of that anytime soon because I gotta do other shit first. Clean, dirty turn. Candice Michelle, she will be on the direct title scene from the start. And since Candice, Johnny Nitro, because of a rivalry I want him to have with Ric Flair, is going to have to go redemption arc as well. And so will Melina, because she's going to be a part of that rivalry involving this sort of redemption arc version of Johnny Nitro. Going against the freaking dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair. And, I'm going to make Ric Flair dirty because, he is the dirtiest player in the game. I'm making Triple H dirty because of some shit I'm going to have him involved in. F you, Tori Wilson. Your puppy things are freaking disgusting. Make a heel. Shawn Michaels is going to be a face. Shad and JTG are both going to be heels. Randy Orton, and Edge, because of a thing I plan on doing, are actually both going to be face. They're both going to start out that way. And considering Melina is, not really going to be directly from the start going to be in the title picture scene because she's going to be helping Johnny Nitro in the Intercontinental picture title scene, this whole thing with Mickie James, what I decided to do with her, won't really affect Melina. And I'm basically, Mickie James. Basically. I'm going to be making Mickie James face because I want to do. And Candice Michelle. I think we have Candice Michelle. Yeah, I think she can stay the way she is. She can stay heel. Carlito is going to be heel because he spits in the face of people that don't want to be cool. Of course, Masters can go to hell. Edge is indeed going on that redemption arc scene. Right, Khali. As for the Hardy brothers, well, I don't exactly want to stranglehold SmackDown from having, any championship holders for the tag team scene. So, you know, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Hardy will be whatever Jeff Hardy wants to be. However, I'm going to change Cena's alignment because I want to change him to be more like his word life self. I want a more word life Cena, so he will indeed turn heel. And Shad and JTG is both like dirty. Shawn Michaels' face. And like I said before, Effie Tori Wilson. Umaga is also, not exactly going to be the nicest person. He's meant for like squashing, not cuddling. And no champions right off the bat. Yes, I do. And now we set off for SmackDown. It's sways and woes. Of course, Ash is going to be a face. Batista, considering everything with him, and how that shit's going to roll. Batista's going to be as much heel as he wants to be. And ooh, Chavo! Lying, cheating, stealing brother, so lying, cheating, stealing Chavo. Eddie Guerrero, we will miss you. Finlay, well, he is an Irish fighting bastard from Belfast, Northern Ireland. And, I'm actually part Irish, but I still don't care. Irish fighting bastard nonetheless. So, yeah, definitely a heel. And Gregory Helms, dude used to be the Hurricane. Children used to chant his name, but now he's just completely, no. He is definitely going to be a heel. Kane will also, basically, yeah, basically going to be affected by that. And, well, Kane is only going to be a face because his brother, who's also going to be in the tag team, thing with him, is a face. That's the only reason why he's even still a face. However, King Booker, I was fine with him as Booker T, but now that he has all the Royal Heritage bullshit, like ingrained into his head, no, he's heel. He is pure heel. And Mark Henry, dude, strongest man in the world, freaking badass theme song, but, he just absolutely, somebody gonna get the ass kicked, somebody getting a wee foot, definitely gonna be heel material. And Matt Hardy, definitely gonna be a face. He will not die. Michelle McCool, I feel, deserves face chance. And again, with redemption arcs here, Mr. Kennedy gonna get to prove himself if he can actually do it. If he can actually prove that he is capable of a redemption arc, a successful one at that. Can he do it? The man who hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? And I'm not even going to trust MVP worth his salt to be able to pull that kind of shit off. So he's definitely dirty. Rey Mysterio is going to be, babyface. Undertaker, he's basically the law enforcement of the WWE. So, of course, he would be face. And no set champions. They're going to work for those belts. As I believe, the Raw General Manager, Jonathan Coachman said this himself, and, if that I was smart, myself, Tilo, that if I was smart, I would do the same. So I am. This is, after all, a battle to see who is the superior general manager. Yeah, Vince McMahon, no one wants to hear your bullshit. And now I'm literally going to abuse the shit out of the proposed trades thing. Yeah, JR, shut up. Yeah, JBL, shut up. Now let me do what I'm good at doing. Post trade. Of course, SmackDown, because ECW are probably going to be some bitches. I'm going to get Ashley, because Ashley's, hot spot. She is the hotness, the goodness. His name is Finley. He loves to fight, but, whatever else. And Kane and The Undertaker are coming to Raw. Oh yeah, shit, I forgot it. How much of a novice you have to be to forget about that shit? I already know a little bit about who I want to give over. So the SmackDown actually has a chance in actually getting their own, tag team division. Or wait. Basically giving over Jeff Hardy, because they already have Matt Hardy, so they now have the Hardys. And basically I'm deciding that John Cena can do his, word life, over in SmackDown. And to basically just say, screw you, Kenny Dystra, wherever the hell your ass is. Yeah, get the hell out of my face. Post trades. God, I'm hungry. Well, post trade again. Michelle McCool, because we need that diva. And SmackDown doesn't. And Rey Mysterio, because I'm sure there are plenty other, popular enough cruiserweights to tide SmackDown over. Mr. Kennedy. Post. Shit, I made that mistake again. Who do I not want? Well, I know who I definitely don't want. Get the fuck out of here, Tori Wilson. You are not wanted in the Divas division. You are not wanted here at all. You are a mistake. They're damn disgusting ass puppies. Oh, Shad and JTG. Just to give SmackDown a little bit of an edge, have their own, tag team division. And I guess to not make it a total sausage fest, Tori Wilson is also present. Is there anything else I want to do? Anybody I want to get rid of? Anyone? Carlito. Carlito's ass can vacate frickin' Raw roster, right? And so can Chris Masters. MVP. World's strongest man. I mean, why the hell not? So let's go into free agency. And Raw's going to get the rowdy one. And SmackDown is actually going to be sneaky. And going to slip into free agency and pick 2 instead of 1. Letting Raw to check their billing. They got Ashley, Candice Michelle, Edge, the Great Cup. Oh yeah, we definitely need to do some more switching. Post trade. ass out of here. And over to SmackDown. And since I am indeed part Irish and I like Raw more than SmackDown, Finley, you fighting Irish bastard from Belfast, Northern Ireland, get your ass over here. Now let's check. Okay, Raw has Ashley, Candice, Michelle, Edge, Finley, Johnny Nitro, Kane, Mark Henry, Melina, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Umaga, Undertaker. While SmackDown have Batista, Carlito, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Masters, The Great Khali, Gregory Helms, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, JTG, Kenny Dykstra, King Booker, Matt Hardy, The Palethal, which is basically based off of me, which is why he has green eyes and, dark brown hair, and extremely pale skin, Rick Rude, Shad, Tori Wilson, William Regal. And now, indeed, it will be time for the championship. Because now we have to come to a decision. Who is worthy and who is not. Well, you see, we have Aaron Raw, Rated RKO. We have the Brothers of Destruction. And we have DX, D-Generation X, that is. Who out of the three will be most worthy? And not in any way sort of a destructive element. In a way, I guess you could say, considering who the WWE Champion is rumored to be, the least destructive element here would be, I think, the Brothers of Destruction be the Tag Team Champions, the World Tag Team Champions. And considering Melina is going to be helping Johnny Nitro through his Intercontinental Championship ways and woes, as that is a goal that he clearly said he, set out to do, she's basically going to be clear cut out of this whole entire division. Unless she breaks off from Nitro at any point, in which she'll be set in here as people to be, on the prowl. Which would be Ashley, Candice Michelle, Melina, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, at a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, yeah, pretty devastating. And seeing as Ashley did not win over Melina in WrestleMania 23, can't have her as champion. And Candice Michelle is good, but not that good. Michelle McCool is her own breed of awesome. And then that leaves Mickie James and Melina still in this argument. That is, unless, as previously stated, basically, the whole thing about her being on Nitro at the time. So that making it, a basically landslide to a decision, Mickie James in the role of Women's Champion. And now, like I said, someone to look out for, considering the whole running in, for said title. Well, not directly going to be Johnny Nitro because I only said running in. However, the current Intercontinental being Umaga of the Isle of Samoa, the literal Samoan bulldozer. However, whenever it came for the choices of who to be WWE Champion, Raw General Manager, Jonathan Coachman, only knew one superstar to truly be able to do it while still maintaining a cool head. You may have a short fuse whenever it comes to most things, but whenever it comes to maintaining the belt, maintaining the gold, especially top-tier titles like, WWE Champion, the toppest title of them all, Edge has, a knack for being able to do so, and quite swimmingly. So, Jonathan Coachman thought not a better choice than either, Shawn Michaels or Edge. And since Shawn Michaels has a long history of neck and back injuries, well, that's not really good for, having someone who can stay on without having at least, 5-week-long injury reprieve because of said history of neck and back problems. So basically it came to the decision that the only safe way to do this would be for Edge to have the gold. And another thing, since basically everyone here is signed on for an abysmal 5 weeks, we had to do some, contract rearranging. Basically, the McMahons had it to where everyone was signed on for 5 weeks. Everyone that was signed on was only signed on for 5 weeks. And basically, Coachman and Tilo basically have decided that that will not do. Not even for the newest blood here, the Lethal. Whenever such talent is so rare to come by. I mean, could you imagine, someone like that, who was so well talented, as shown whenever they competed in the Performance Center, to just only be on there for 5 weeks? I mean, that isn't all the way to Judgment Day. I mean, Judgment Day is at least 7 weeks, and then just to have him off? I mean, that will not do. Especially on Tilo's mind. I mean, he has him on the brand. His brand. So the two of them together, stacked up as the ultimate GM. Yes, both that of Jonathan Coachman and Tilo, Teddy Long, Holla Holla. Basically, Tilo deciding that that will not do. But first, Jonathan Coachman also agreeing with Tilo and that, that will not do for his brand either. So, they basically both decided that this is a mistake that has to be corrected. Though they also know the importance of being able to save enough money to be able to do what they need to do in order to raise up the fans. And also the surprising amount of, people actually, superstars actually wanted to go out there and try perform some sort of, redemption arc for themselves. And even some superstars actually looking to go more dirty, underhanded tactics instead of what they were previously doing. Could, WrestleMania possibly have been that? Possibly had an effect on their mental state or just how they do in general? Especially with WrestleMania, the legends coming around like they did. I mean, you don't just get talent like that out of nowhere. Like, the legends that did come around, oops, looks like I messed up, but on the right guy. I mean, Shawn Michaels does know his way around a microphone and a way around a ring. Plus, actually, this could be a sort of insurance, giving him 15 weeks instead of the regular 10. Could be a sort of insurance considering his history of, again, neck and back injuries. This could indeed be a form of insurance for the Heartbreak Kid. Especially with monsters like Umaga amongst the roster. The locker room. I mean, whenever you consider that, yeah. So 15 weeks instead of 10 weeks actually could indeed be considered, ring insurance for Shawn Michaels in case anything did indeed happen. Now, Teddy Long has indeed, voiced his concerns and has told me he will do the same as, myself, Jonathan Coachman. And that he does realize that the only reason I gave Shawn Michaels 15 weeks is half because of a hiccup and concentration, and also half because, it wouldn't be nice to have ring insurance for someone who has a bad history of, really bad, injuries. And actually thinking about, what, they saw at the Performance Center, what all of us saw, you know, if for us to make a hiccup in giving Shawn Michaels, extra weeks, then why isn't there, a purposeful extra weeks for the newest blood there is? Actually, a total of 20 weeks, considering what just might happen for this superstar's career. And possibly be able to get them to want to stay on SmackDown. and not switch to Raw or get persuaded by any, certain calls to Raw, which I'm not exactly sure how well it's going to do. I mean, after after SummerSlam, you have Unforgiven, and that would be the perfect time for the SmackDown superstar, the Lethal, to show his chops as a Raw superstar. And I think that, from what I've overheard, the Lethal talking about from time to time in the locker room, he believes that would be the best course of action for himself if he wants to make a big, name for himself for his career and everything, and himself in general, as an actual serious, threat in the locker room, someone who deserves respect. That would be the best course of action for himself as well. To make it big on SmackDown with the time that he would have before Unforgiven, and then, boom, just hit it strong and Unforgiven. So yeah, just from what I've heard already, not just from the playthrough himself, but from, other sources, I don't believe that T-Lo's going to have the best of luck keeping the Lethal after SummerSlam. He'd probably be damned if he's even able to keep him even before that of Unforgiven. In fact, has he even ensured champions? T-Lo is just going to call me up saying that he's just now decided that, he just now remembered basically, that he has to ensure himself some champions if he wants to keep everybody, majorly happy. And knowing the stakes, but also knowing some certain things that have happened, it would be, good to showcase the Guerrero family with Chavo as Cruiserweight Champion, but also be very good, to, pop up some stuff with previously known as the Hurricane, Gregory Helms. That could also be a good decision. But also with the new legend here, Rick Rude, who got in through a big, suggestion that you guys made from, WrestleMania, his appearance at WrestleMania, just sheer, happenstance that both the Hot Rod and, this, Rick Rude both appeared at the same WrestleMania, just out of nowhere. And you guys seem to eat it up. So that's the entire reason why they're even here. With Hot Rod on Raw and Rick Rude, the Ravishing One, on SmackDown. And it just so happens at the same time that Rick Rude decided to make his WrestleMania appearance out of nowhere, the Lethal also decided to basically, kick it up a notch by basically, getting right out of the Performance Center all the way, straight to, scenes on WWE. And with that, you have to consider Gregory Helms basically abandoning his identity of the Hurricane, basically seriously screwing over his popularity advantage with the fans, seriously screwing that over. So the only ones left are Chavo, really, and Rick Rude. And with history of lying, cheating, and stealing amongst the Guerrero family, and Rick Rude not really being all that much better, but man's still a legend, and so he still should be given respect. And Chavo was only the brother of a legend, recently passed, I heard. So Rick Rude is going to be given the benefit of the doubt by the general manager in terms of the cruiserweight. And so, Rick Rude basically made the cruiserweight champion. However, for the tag team championships, there's not all that much insurance. Because with only the Hardys and Crime Time, well, not many people actually trust, Crime Time to uphold their ideals of, not actually being crime. Now that they've done their whole, freaking Uno reverse card of whatever that was they did at WrestleMania. So, yeah. Basically, everyone made it known that the most likely to receive the championships would need to be the Hardys if they actually got on. Full roster of the two. And since they did, there's some clever, choices in between the two general managers. The Hardys get the tag team championship position. But who does that leave to have the basically United States champion? Basically, the best way to secure things in the manager's minds is, well, to stick to, guns. And since MVP isn't really around, the best way to do that, they believe, is to have Mr. Wordlife do his thing as the United States champion. And that basically leaving, a hole in the chest of the roster. As until you consider one man who was basically WCW champion for multiple rounds, and ever since he figured out about his old royal heritage, has been a complete and total sack of shit. But regardless, fan popularity swerving, whenever he was still, instead of, a certain someone by the name of Booker T, has basically given us, the old ultimatum that this man be made world heavyweight champion, even though really not enjoying the prospect. Neither Jonathan Coachman or Tila, really. Though, we digress. So King Booker is world heavyweight champion. World Live John Cena being the United States champion. The Cruiserweight champion, Ravishing Rick Rude. And the Hardys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, being the champions for SmackDown, the tag team champions for SmackDown. With their only opposing force being Crime Time, that being Shad and JTG. Okay, guys. I was starving, so I had a snack. So, let's go over the roster. Ashley, Candice Michelle, Edge, Finlay, Nitro, Kane, Mark Henry, Melina, Cole, James, Mr. Candy, Calendar, MVP, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Flair, Roddy Piper, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Omega, Undertaker. Your roster: Batista, Carlito, Joe Guerrero, Chris Masters, The Great Khali, Gregory Helms, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, JTG, Kenny Dykstra, Kenny Booker, Matt Hardy, The Lethal, Mark Rude, Shed, Tori Wilson, William Regal. Oh, so this is actually after we fix the whole roster problem. Sorry, guys, I have to, get the cobwebs out of my damn head. Oh, shit, we didn't do that with The Undertaker. Fuck. Oh, I was doing the health report. Shit. 5 week. 15 weeks. Michaels, but hey, he has frequent neck and back injuries, so I guess it's just insurance. And who did we give the extra pomp for? Yeah, that's a huge pop, but hey, he is very good talent from what we saw, in the Performance Center with both me and basically, well, both me and Coach saw. We saw in the Performance Center, and Tommy was even with us. So I bet you, unless he plans on being a stuck-up prick, he probably won't argue. But this guy has extreme talent. Which is why he's probably very salty that he wasn't able to get him on the roster for ECW. And the current champions for SmackDown, or as you see here. The tag champs being Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. The Hardys. That's great. Cruiserweight champion being the Ravishing One, Rick Rude. The United States champion being John Cena. And King Booker as the World Heavyweight Championship holder. As for current champions for Raw, I, Jonathan Coachman, am proud to say that the Brothers of Destruction are our tag team champions. The women's champion, Mickie James. Omega being our Intercontinental champion. And basically, because of a debate in between Shawn Michaels and his history of back problems, and well, how Edge does indeed seem to have an ability to be able to hold championship gold, especially very high ranking championship gold, whenever it comes down to the wire. Edge was basically chosen to be the one to, be our WWE champion. And now let's get into the juicy bits. Yes. Up until SummerSlam, so basically 21 weeks, we have Randy Orton versus Roddy Piper as the Legend Killer rivalry. The first rivalry, in fact. Because, back a while, whenever Roddy basically decided to make his appearance at WrestleMania, it didn't get received too well by, Randy Orton. Orton just saying, like, he rather had a big old distaste for the hot rod. Because it feels that, Piper seems to, still his gimmick of being, just an absolute savage whenever it comes to these things. And, Randy Orton basically wanted to show Roddy Piper who the real legendary savage of this business really is. And especially whenever it came to a WrestleMania entrance as well, that extra pissed Randy Orton off. And Roddy Piper just trying to survive out here. But whenever he heard the reason why Randy Orton was, putting all this BS up, he got pissed too. I mean, he was just, doing his thing. Just, doing what Rowdy, Piper does. And, Randy Orton's gonna have a freaking piss fight about it. He's gonna have a shit fit about it. Oh, hell no. So, yeah, basically, these two were angry at each other from day one. Damn near day one, at least. So, yeah, of course, they would have, a rivalry that represented that. Going all the way up to the big one, the big old one, SummerSlam continue. However, we would love to do that. It seems that we want to test the waters with a match to see just how ferocious these two are against each other. So we will have a match on the card, Randy Orton versus Roddy Piper, to see just how much it would derail if we did put these two in an actual rivalry. To see if there would be any, damage control needed if we did indeed do so. So, instead of going at that automatically, However, something that was also noted, though nowhere nearly as heated as Randy Orton's beef with Roddy Piper, though still very heated, not nearly that heated, but still very heated. Oh boy. And this one comes with a vengeance, because it literally will be until vengeance. You see, Johnny Nitro and Melina, because of Nitro's inclusion into, the Intercontinental match, seeing what he can do, in order to actually gain said, title, Melina, who was partnered up with him, has been held back from actually being able to, contest and, actual being able to do so in her own division, the women's division. And don't really know how that's going to, be able to sit very well. So whenever, Mr. Dirtiest Player in the Game decided to come up to Melina, oh, well, there's been some heavy controversy about what actually happened, and Nitro isn't liking it one bit. So you damn well better know that this is going to be a rivalry. And whenever you hear about this next one, oh my god, this next one. This next one is actually, pretty insane itself. Because, good lord, if people just, actually, didn't just start this shit, maybe this wouldn't have to happen. But some people just have to have soul enough egos to challenge, anybody in their path. And considering that Triple H felt that he deserved to be the one in the spot, and Undertaker is just, fine with climbing up the ladder, how much he needs to climb it up, especially because there still believes to be unfinished business in between himself and Edge. Yet, Undertaker still does know that he is also part of the, tag team champions. However, some people just can't seem to be satisfied with their spots. Such is the case with the game here. And seeing as, Undertaker seems to have a championship, as, the game does not, that just pisses him off even more. So it seems like the battle against the egos. Someone who definitely doesn't seem comfortable with where they're placed, and someone who is just extremely prideful and will not let this slide. So is willing to beat the dog shit out of whoever they need to beat in order to climb the ladder, regardless of who they have to injure in order to do so. And so is the story of Triple H versus Undertaker. When will this man learn not to trifle with a dead man? There have also been, talking around about the true intentions of the Lethal. He might not be as nice as he first seemed whenever going into the Performance Center. And it might just be because of his placement in the SmackDown roster. Maybe he was aiming for higher things. But then, now that he's placed in the blue brand, he is definitely indeed going to do everything that he can to climb that ladder. And then, whenever he gets to the red brand, destroy. Absolute destruct mode. Oh, and haven't already addressed this already? Whenever this isn't being played, I will indeed be doing more Mavigoria Wrestling Federation. Don't think I forgot about that. Whenever I'm not doing this, I will be doing that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You know what I mean? And now a little something that surprised a lot of people whenever it actually came up. An unlikely alliance, JTG and the newest of new blood here, the Lethal. Because, well, they seem to be facing rough opposition on both ends. That being Kenny Dykstra and Gregory Helms, formerly known as the Hurricane. And, well, whenever you're being, attacked like that, JTG didn't exactly like the idea of being attacked by both of them. And this was especially not a very favorable thing whenever it came to the Lethal. To just be squashed like that before your career can even begin is not something very favorable. So even though they really don't actually trust each other all that much, they indeed have decided to, well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing. And that's how this seems to be going. And it basically seems like Kenny Dystra and Gregory Helms seem to be the main opposition for these two. And, well, on, the subject of other things, such as big, like big powwows, such as who exactly would be the, number one contender for such things as perhaps, well, what do you think? don't really think that, Tilo seems to, they need much more than, something that would show, some fresh blood and, kick up some pop. Or maybe they do, just, don't really seem to know what to do with that. Said pop. Goes the weasel. And so with this, we have our first thing as being draft plus a lot of extra. Because we didn't just draft, we a lot of extra. So yeah, for both Raw and SmackDown, you have Lexington, for you go Kentucky or whatever the frick. So yeah, that. Was it plugged in? Oh, thank God. I'm the Dark Maverick, and I am out of here. You boys like, favorite, subscribe, and deuces.